referring primarily in the time in which that amendment was passed to your own home, was based on the way things were in those days. We kept most of our possessions in our homes. Not that there weren't banks and doctors who had records, but their records were all manual and probably not going to be something you have to go in and steal physically in order to be able to get access to. The administrative structure of the government was much simpler, and very little private information was maintained about individuals by the government. So that was not the same kind of threat as today. Now, the issue of privacy in the library world is actually really placed in the First Amendment. And that is, interpretations of the court are that you don't really have freedom of speech, you don't have intellectual freedom, if you cannot pursue your ideas without being scrutinized by others, without having government look over your shoulder as you do it, and without being judged as a person on the basis of the ideas you pursue. I also always joked, I placed a lot of holds when I worked at Fort Vancouver, and they would deliver to my office, so staff knew exactly what I was reading. And I thought, well, I would only confuse them by the range and the contradicting ideas that I pursued, that they could not use it as a means of judging, well, who I really was in relationship to my beliefs, which was my private business. And we are equally responsible for protecting the privacy of reading, viewing, choices of our patrons. And we have difficult problems that we face, of course, in the post 9/11 war, and whole issues of the Patriot Act, which I won't go into because we don't have time, but national security letters, which are encompassed, pre-existed the Patriot Act, but after the Patriot Act, they applied not just to foreign nationals or people who were agents of a foreign government, and they have been served on libraries. And if you've been following news, you know about them being served on libraries and cases won by libraries in relationship to that, but which never got followed through to their end because the government always abandoned the case when they realized they were going to lose. Excuse me. In the meantime, the Patriot Act is currently under reauthorization, and if you haven't gone in to the American Library Association's Washington office website to explore the issues that are being happened, that were just yesterday, the Judiciary Committee adopted, giving us some of what we want in terms of protection of library information, but not all that we want. It's getting better, but it's something that we all ought to be and keep informed about, and be communicating with our legislatures about why this matters to libraries.